Imagine trying to build a skyscraper using a rock to hit another rock. Sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you the largest empire in the Americas did exactly that? They conquered mountains, built cities in the clouds, and managed millions of people, all without ever smelting a single ounce of iron or steel. Welcome to the mind-bending world of the Inca. Seriously, stop and look at those walls for a second. That is Machu Picchu. Those stones fit together so perfectly that you can't even slide a credit card between them today, 500 years later. And they didn't have laser cutters or steel chisels. They had other rocks. Here is how they actually pulled this off. They used stones that were harder than the ones they were shaping. They would take river cobbles made of hematite and just pound away at the granite, endlessly, using physics and friction instead of brute force metal. It was basically the ultimate flex of patience over power. But wait, if they didn't have steel swords, how did they defend themselves? They weren't fighting with sticks. They were masters of bronze and copper. They engineered mace heads that could shatter bone and utilized slingshots that fired stones with the velocity of a modern handgun bullet. They realized that in the humid, high-altitude Andes, heavy iron armor would just rust and slow you down. So, they wore tightly woven cotton armor that was light, breathable, and strong enough to stop arrows. Now, here is the part that really breaks my brain. They ran an empire the size of Rome without a written language. No letters, no books. Instead, they had this. The Quipu, it looks like a mop, I know. But it was actually a super complex data storage system made of knots. Different colors, different twists, different spacing. It was basically 3D binary code. They used this to track taxes, census data, and military supplies. And to move that data, they built the Capacone. This was a 25,000-mile road system that makes modern highways look lazy. They didn't have the wheel, because wheels are useless on vertical mountain stairs. Instead, they had the chasqui. These were ultramarathon runners who operated like a relay race. One guy runs a few miles at full speed, blows a conch shell, passes the message to the next guy, and collapses. They could get a message from the capital in Cusco to the coast in days, faster than the postal service does it right now. So, next time you think technology is just shiny metal and circuit boards, remember the Inca. They terraformed mountains to grow food, freeze-dried potatoes hundreds of years before astronauts existed, and built monuments that outlasted the guys with the steel swords. So, would you have survived as a chasqui runner? Or would you have tripped on the first step? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more history that doesn't feel like homework, hit that subscribe button. Catch you in the next one.